kindly excuse me for the delay. Wiping the cameras now. Okay, so it's clear here also. So today, while I was just coming back home, this thing was ringing in my head of being yourself and how important this is. Because at the same time, I had heard a story about Ashok Samrat, the great emperor Samrat, and a prostitute, and I was amazed at the wisdom, the deep wisdom that all these great stories. I don't know how far the story is true or whatever, but it does give a lot of deep insights into our journey. Because as I always say, spirituality is very very simple, and if we look at it from a very simple point of view, it's very easy. So how can we look at it very simply? Is when we become simple. Spirituality becomes complicated when we are complicated. When do we become complicated? When things in us inside is all complicated and jumbled up. Too many concepts, too many stuff. We are fully loaded. And when we loaded with so many things, we just cannot be ourselves. You cannot be you. While the whole path has always demanded being yourself, being originally you, being just who you are. It's I cannot emphasize how important this is. How important this is. Being yourself. Because if you just follow these very simple things, please understand that half of spirituality is just walked. Path is walked upon even without doing anything. Because now I don't believe in doing a lot of things. I believe now if you settle down and understand the simple concepts and the fundas of what the whole shastras, the whole mistakes, and everybody is trying to express in very simple ways. If we just simplify our lives, half the journey is undertaken on its own. Rest 50% is little attention here and there that you give, and little more seriousness that you show, and some effort that you put from your side should be just that 50%. But the other 50% can be just very simple. If you lead a very simple life, minus the complications of the mind, life is very simple. Spirituality is very simple. And that is what I've been trying to make an effort the whole of February month. All the content that I was speaking was about unconditioning, about letting go of all that does not serve you anymore. But you can't let go of them until you identify what is that. First you have to become aware of it. How you're going to identify? You got to become aware of it, that this is not serving my purpose. Only then you can leave it. I showed to you, we demonstrated so much in the last few live sessions, that how unconscious our lives are. When somebody talks about it, like when I'm talking here about it, suddenly something flashes within. Oh my god, what is this? Never gave attention to it. Why we did not give attention? Because we thought these are simply chalta hai, chota mota thing. We are focusing on something big. We are focusing on some big technique, something that will give us some joy or some pride in that, you know, I've done something or I've gained something. Whole spirituality is not about gaining, it is about losing. That's where the catch is. Everybody's busy running behind gaining only. I want to get this, get that, do this, do that, gather this, gather that, take this, take that. It's all about accumulation. And in that unconscious act, if we are not careful, we will not understand how much we have gathered, which is absolutely nonsense for us. When we start becoming aware, we come to know that from childhood we have gathered so many stuff. But you will be even more surprised that, forget childhood, even after coming into spirituality, I'm continuing that habit. So my habits are still going on of accumulation. It's a tendency. You don't do it on purpose, but it's a tendency that you have developed. according to that pattern, that conditioning, you automatically start working. So it is very important to become aware of these unconscious patterns. Very few paths, I've scanned through everything. Very few mistakes or very few paths talk straight to the core. Everything around you look is beating around the bush. One concept is there, one fundamental is there, so much glorified, so much big and so huge and vast it is made to look, that half the time you feel like, oh my god, it's so overwhelming. And many feel ye meri bas ki baat nahi hai. Or it feels too tough, too much to do, too much to handle, because most of the time we are exhausted by life itself. We are exhausted by life and we come into spirituality, and there when we see something that is exhausting, we're done with it. आधा मूड तो उधर ही गया. So people do not get easily inspired by too much of this happenings, especially when they have realized, there is nothing so cute or divine about the great happenings. There's nothing great, because they are looking now life as very simple. It is no more great, magnificent, fabulous, something beyond nothing like that. They have seen through all these things and they have come down to the core, and they just want to deal with that. That is why their search is in simple things. You look at the seekers of liberation, those who are attaining mukti, they are very simple people. Their choices are simple, their outlooks are simple, their search is simple. Their urges are very simple. They are not too overwhelming, too great, powerful, and this and that, and and that simplicity brings a little bit of it calms down a person. It brings humility in a person. You'll always see the seekers of liberation are never excited people, overexcited people. If they are, then they will sooner or later find out that it's not helping them. Too much activity, too much hyper stuff is something showing the proof, the evidence of too much of gathering that we have, too much of things that we have stored within. That is where it is coming. Too much of rajas, too much activity, and too much of enthusiasm and all. It's simply rajas. Power seeking, doing something powerful to feel powerful. Rajas. You'll see the seekers of liberation, they are very simple. Sattvic and simple, neutral. They're very calm. You look at them, you look at their stature, you look at their walks, their talks, and all. Even their eating, their behaviors. Not too much of halagulla. It's all settled down. Why? Because lot of chunk has gone out. They might not realize, but lot of loads have gone out. Because if you just see 10 years back, you were not that. 10 years back, 20 years back, it's a big difference. So if you just look at yourself 20 years back, or even 10 years back, or even sometimes 5 years back, you'll come to know how far you have walked. If you just become aware of it, the beautiful transition that is coming, the beautiful settling it has come in. So if you have seen that drastic change in all these past years, it is a self-motivation. You are self-motivated, like, I've walked all this till here. And if I've made it till here, and so many things have gone, and I've improved so much, evolved so much from within, then surely at this rate, there is something going to happen in the coming years. If you just see your rapid rate of success and evolution, your own analysis, I'm not asking you to ask somebody else, they won't be able to analyze. You can, when you are honestly in awareness, I'm saying, you have to be completely aware. And when you access and see how far you have come, it is too much. We have not taken the time to do that. Sit and do that and see. Just compare yourself to 5 years back or 10 years back. The answers will have. How far have I come? How deep have I gone? How much have I evolved? Just look into these things. This will be your motivation, because your past creates your present. Whatever you are present right now, whichever state you are, how much ever evolved you are feeling right now, is all because of something of the past. Changes that you undertook in the past, acceptance that you had in the past. So, at that level of acceptance and surrender that you have given to yourself, and total acceptance of what's happening in life, has brought you till here. Even if you continue at that same pace of movement, you can imagine next 5 years, 10 years, what it's going to be. This is how you self motivate yourself, because there is no need for motivation from outside. And you don't know who is motivating you, how far they are seriously motivating you, or what are their intentions behind your motivating. Here, you know your intention. So, if you just do this simple self analysis, that is enough for you, and you will continue. Now, I'm saying at the same pace, you can imagine what will happen, but not necessarily it be the same pace. Because most of the time, what happens is, as you keep on evolving, as you keep on shedding this load, the acceleration keeps on increasing. It's not at the same rate like before, because before पहिया chalti thi, the wheel was moving, but lot of muck was there. So as the muck is getting freed out, the wheel is moving faster and faster and faster and faster. So the rate of that evolution also cannot be compared exactly at it. I'm saying even if you do nothing also, it will still evolve in a certain way, because your state of consciousness has reached a certain way. You cannot reverse it. It is irreversible. You simply cannot reverse it. Even if you want to try it out, check it out. If you say, no, I'm fed up with spirituality, I want to go back to what I am, try doing it. It's not going to happen, because that is how evolution is. That is what is an example that is telling that even if you do nothing, you evolve. You look at nature. Does it do anything? There is no doership around. Everything is evolving. You see the yugas that is happening. Remove mankind, but even if you remove mankind, everything is nature and is evolving. Even the mineral kingdom is evolving. You cannot say it's not changing. Even today, the rocks which you are there is not going to be rock forever. It might be for a long time, the grossness, but they also keep converting. Science shows this, geology shows this very well. So everything is, and they do, what can be more jadata, stulta than rock? That's the most jad chetan, most hard consciousness, gross consciousness. That also is evolving. The speed is little. But if you go on taking higher levels of evolution, like the plants and animals, there is great evolution happening. Even animals have evolved. This is science that is speaking. So what does it show? It shows that whether you like it or not, it is going to evolve. Whether you like Satyuga or not, it is going to keep on moving to the next cycle. Whether you like Kaliyuga or not, it is going to go towards Satyuga. The problem is when we believe that we are going to take it to Satyuga. That's the big headache. We may accelerate the process, we may make the process little easier. That's all that humans can do yet. We are not the cause for the evolution. That is human ego, that it thinks. And that human ego only is striving out that we want to help mankind, we want to uplift consciousness, we are the ones, we should get together, we must do this, we must do that. It's all plain imaginations. Because, like, if I say I'm going to sit here and change the world, I'm going to do this and spread the divinity and spread love and all that, because I want to uplift this humanity. Now, if one question comes, okay, I might make a difference. What if universe just hits me like this? one one knock out of this planet, what is going to happen? Is the evolution going to stop? आई एम टेल, रत्ती भर की कीमत, रत्ती भर का फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला. It's not going to make a speck of dust whether we are there, whether we are not there, because the universe and cosmos is not dependent on us. We are dependent on it. But the ego, human ego, when it evolves, it starts believing that the planet is dependent on us, the cosmos is dependent on it. So they go to even the extent that, oh my God, क्या होगा इस दुनिया का, क्या होगा इस ब्रह्मांड का. We start bothering about the planets. Oh, that planet is in danger, this planet is in danger, go and investigate. अरे पहले अपने planet संभालो यार. अपने planet छोड़ो, अपना मुल्क संभालो. अपना मुल्क छोड़ो, अपनी सोसाइटी, अपनी कम्युनिटी संभालो. अपनी कम्युनिटी छोड़ो, अपनी फैमिली संभालो. अपनी फैमिली छोड़ो, अपने आप को संभालो. बहुत, that only a great deal of things will happen. But we cannot look after this one. We cannot look after our localites, and we go to save the planets. That's what the murta, that's what the grossness of human ego is. Now, we are not here to challenge that or look into that or investigate. What I'm saying is, if you just become aware of these things, you become humble. You let go of all these kind of ideas and things, that I am something in this, that I am will start dying. Every time you must challenge yourself with all these things. Whenever you feel little great, also, there is no need to go and thrash out your ego and all that stuff. No, that doesn't happen really. It's not practical. It really doesn't happen. I have tried it. You also try and see. Trying to kill the ego, it's not going to happen. Because who's the killer? Who's the one who wants to kill? Is the ego. And can the ego kill itself? Impossible. Only the feeling is there that I'm going to kill. That feeling itself is again ego. So it's a big vicious cycle, and it's not going to happen. It's a weird imagination. It's a weird hope. Better than that, just become aware of all these facets. When you become aware, what will happen is you'll settle down, you'll simmer down. That simmering down is simplicity, what I'm talking. And when you come into simplicity, when you understand the functions of the universe, when you understand how cosmos is functioning, how everything is functioning, everything, you just look inside, outside, anywhere, everything is functioning in its own way. Whether I'm there or not, that also comes in that. Next step, you just think, will anything affect around? Anything affect around if I'm not there? You'll be surprised. Nothing is going to affect. And that has been the state of every human being. There have been billions born and billions die all the time. But all the billions carry this importance of how important I am in this world. If you see the self-centeredness of this human ego, if you sit in awareness and you see, you'll be shocked to see that it believes that, really I'm telling, it believes that life is revolving around itself. You also just become aware and see, just right now, how much importance do you feel that your presence in this world? Don't you feel that, oh, because I am there, my house is running, I am there, my family is running, I am there, I am running, how important I am in the society, how, look at the neighbors, how important I am. When neighbors come or something, community, and when you are outside and say, "Hey, not so important." There, that presence, your presence is so important that somebody comes to talk, let's say five people get together and you're talking. There also, while we talk also, there is so much of importance from my end. All the time that urge is there of how important my presence is here. My presence, I got to be here. Or we demonstrate and show it. I'm here. How do we make our presence felt? Have you seen this? We always strive to make our presence felt everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. You're sitting down there, for example, in the house, and let's say some relatives, somebody is come and they're talking something. And let's say they ignore you, as though you don't exist, and they're talking to each other. How do you feel? Left out completely. Completely left out. No importance given to me. And to make your presence felt, what we do? We do this. When somebody is talking something that we don't like, we do this. Means making my presence felt. I am here, everywhere. How dare you do that? How dare you do this? Who told you to do that? Who asked you to take this? That presence felt is always there. That being is always there. It's always trying to project itself, because this, we must understand, is the false I that is doing this, is the one that feels that someone is separate. Because the moment you want to make your present, to whom will you make your present felt? Then there is duality, and there is two, there is comparison. I am also here. I want to show that. See, there's a beautiful thing that happened when Krishna was sitting and Arjuna came to him to ask Lord Krishna, please be in our team. We are going to have this war which is looks like irreversible. We are going to have it anyways. So we want, but at the same time when Arjuna comes, even Duryodhana comes. Both arrive at the same time and both come with the same intention. Be in my party. So Duryodhana wants to ask Krishna, be in our party, and Arjuna wants to say, be in our party. Both wants Krishna to be in their party, because somehow they know Krishna is someone very superior and very powerful enough. Now the mindsets are different. Duryodhana's mindset is different, Arjuna's is different. Duryodhana knows that Krishna is powerful because of his manifestations. So many things he has around him. People are so much connected to him. He has got the largest kind of armies that can listen to him. Most powerful person. So he's gone on his personality. Ye kaam aayega. How much time we do that? When we look in the society and somebody is very influential, we want to connect with that person. Why? Because kuch to mera kaam aa jaye. I had this kind of a syndrome when I was with my Gurudev. Lots of friends, lots. It's like thousands. 5,000-6,000 people who know me even now, at that time also, but a lot of friends. So many friend requests all the time. People are there around me and close to me, trying to connect with me and all that stuff. Why? Not because of me. Kuch kaam aayega ye. Because he can be a good intermediator. Kuch to kaam aa jayega, because they see somebody else who's powerful. This can be useful. This guy can be useful to us. The approach was that, but my awareness used to see this before only. I know with what intention somebody is coming, and according to that, I used to not give a heed to anybody. In fact, I told this to my friend also. My friend said one day, I was trying to do some live, my cell was giving a problem. So my friend was there. He said, use my cell. So I was trying to log in into his cell phone. When I logged in, he said, ye kya hai? 2,500 friend requests unanswered. I said, so what? I have not even seen it. I don't know. Kya baat kar rahe ho? I said, so what is the big deal? You have so many friends? I said, correction. They're not friends. Who are friends? They are just trying to be friends. All of them. It's a great deal. I said, it's no deal. I said, the moment if I take the title of my head or whoever powerful they think is on my head, if I take it aside, ek kutta bhi nahi puchega. I told this to my friend. And he laughed. He said, yeah, I get your point. I said, utna hi hai. Ye duniya pura utna hi hai. If you just understand that much, you will not get carried away with anything. So if somebody flatters you, somebody even praises you or tells you are too good, okay, I know in neutrality why you're saying I'm good. And super, I know that. So the intentions. When Duryodhana was looking at Krishna, he knew that kuch kaam aa jayega. He was not looking at Krishna's consciousness. He was looking at the manifestations and the powers that Krishna could have or create. So all that he was seeing is the vast army that Krishna has. So he said, if Krishna comes to my side, in his mind he was thinking, Krishna is on my side, all the army is mine, powerful army. What else do I need to win the war? Kurukshetra war. And there, Bola Arjuna, Bola in the sense, all the clutter is gone, most of his clutter is gone. So he has become a very simple being, a very conscious being, a wicked being, a humble being. And he is sitting at the feet of Krishna with that prayer. Duryodhana is standing far away because all that he's got to do with some work with him. But Arjuna knows his value. Arjuna is sitting at the feet and wants something else. But the prayer request of both of them is same. Be in our team. And Arjuna asks, you please be with us. Duryodhana also says, please be with us. Now Arjuna is knowing he is Krishna, his Sarathi, his savior, his guru, his God. He's looking at the consciousness of Krishna, seeing that what a divine protection I'll have. What a power of guidance will I have if I'm with Krishna. So he's seeking his help. And finally, Krishna said, ask. Whoever wants to ask, ask. And he gives that opportunity to Arjuna first. You tell me, what should I do? What do you want? I'll give you two options. I am here and my whole army is here. All this vast army, powerful army. He says, you ask whatever you want, and you'll get it. Arjuna, if you want me, I'll come to you. If you want this army, I'll come to you. Now Duryodhana is very upset. He's tense now. Because according to his cunning, see, the cunning mind will reflect there. Everything वैसे ही दिखता है जो अंदर है. So now he thinks that, oh, gone. Now Arjuna will ask for the army. So he gets a little jittery inside. Why did Krishna give him the first opportunity? Arjuna is going to take away the whole army. And what will I do with Krishna without the army? So, I mean, Krishna is powerful with the army according to Duryodhana. So only Krishna is not going to help now. Now this guy is going to take it. But suddenly he sees when Arjuna says, I want you, Krishna. And Duryodhana is excited. He says, wow, this guy has been a Dumbo all his life. He has lost. He's a loser. Such a great opportunity, and there also he lost. Such a loser in life. He lost everything there, including his wife. Good for nothing. Here he had an opportunity to gain something, and his tendency, look at it, he lost it. And he has asked for Krishna. What is he going to do with Krishna without it? But he is happy inside. The approach of these two people are completely different. And you can see one is sitting at the feet. One is sitting on his head. One has arrogance. The other has so much humility to sit down there. One feels he is running Krishna. Krishna is running because of him. The other knows he is nothing without Krishna. I have seen this in real life also. So Duryodhana thought Krishna is there because of his presence felt. He wants to make his presence felt. Everywhere. Duryodhana was that way. He wants to make that I'm there. You will not agree. I'm there. And the powerful man is always very simple and humble. He will sit there as though he has not seen anything, witnessing everything. And somebody is not given any little attention, that somebody will jump in and say, I am here, don't you see me? Something or the other. You've seen a child whose ego is developing slowly and becoming like us. When a child is playing and some guests come in the home and you are sitting and talking with the guests, the child suddenly, till now it was getting all the family members attention, now the whole attention has gone to the guests. The whole family is feeding them, taking care of them, laughing with them, asking about them, and nobody looking at the child now. Now this poor child is feeling offended, feeling unwanted. Now what does the child do to gain attention, to show his presence? It will throw some tantrum, or it will bring that gadi hai uska paas, some play toys there. It will come and move right in front of the guests, and let's say the guests and people are still involved. Then he will sit and drop something purposely so that some attention go to go. Now parents look at, hey, don't do that, and they pick it and give, and they continue again talking. Now this guy is getting restless. He's doing something after the, and he'll go on creating something or the other until he gets the notice. That is a child that is developing ego now into this world. Slowly it is realizing that I am important, without me nothing is going to happen, because he's the center of attraction now. In the family, he's the center of attraction. Everybody is carrying him, boring him all the time, playing with him, full of attention. And the day he doesn't get attention, because till now he is feeling that I am the center of this house. You look at a small child that is developing, it will think that the house is running because of it. It knows that way. It is going to run because of me. This is what each and every person of us, why I'm telling all these examples is so that we become aware and we put ourselves in that perspective, because what we are doing here is nothing less than practice. We are using our awareness to unwind all these things, become aware of it, and shed all these, because these are the catches. You do any kind of big tapas there, but if these are not released, it's a very big problem. What I mean, today's subject is being yourself means, if how can you be yourself? Only when you do not become what you are not. First, when you come to know what you are not, you'll simply drop it. And when you drop what you are not, you will simply become what you are. What is preventing you from becoming what you are is the gathering of all that you are not. But the child is thinking all the time that I am, because of me, everything is done. And you can see some kids become very hysterical, full dadagiri. I've seen some children. They can even go and hit their parents if they don't listen, because that is the kind of thing it is developing. Now you cannot blame and tell that, oh, parents have not trained them properly. All this hota hai. Parents are not taking care of it properly. Parents should have taken care of this and all those things. It's not just about parents. We must understand that this child psychology is coming from the previous janma sanskaras. These samskaras were there in the child before only. It's a carry forward. The stubborn ego that is there, arrogance that is there, it is there. That's a part. It's a chitta. But as it gets time and opportunity, it is developing on its own. Of course, it has. That is why it has chosen that kind of parents also, that life lessons and all those things. So it will choose that kind of parents, and it might choose even arrogant and most egoistic parents again, so that it can get nourishment because of that karma. See, this is how the karma plays. Once you understand this, all this very clearly, you will not get too much involved in it, stuck in it, because everywhere you're seeing anything and everything. So what this observation gives us is a deep understanding in our own lives, because that child is no different than me. When the child becomes an elder, an adult, imagine the traits that child is going to have. Same traits only they'll carry forth, or even it might be more stronger. At this stage only they are developing this way. So you can see how the false personality is being built due to lack of awareness. Now that's playing karma, playing its own role. I believe we are beyond that state. When it was needed, karma played its own role in our lives also. But now that stage is gone. We are awakened. So now we can look back and see all these things of the differences. This urge of me making the presence felt. I'm here. I'm a part also. How can you keep me away? How offended we get when somebody doesn't involve us in anything, in something. How offended. उसने मुझे बुलाया नहीं पार्टी में. I was not included in the party. Oh, there is a family marriage and nobody asked me a single thing. They took their own decisions. This is all indirectly the presence being trying to make itself being felt. So if you just become aware of all these things, it will start. This is also the continued series today, what I'm speaking, unconditioning only. Topics are different, but the whole thing is the same. Today I'm saying being yourself. And I started with telling, why are you not able to be yourself? Because of all these things. What happens when you start being yourself? Let's say all these things are getting off slowly, slowly, slowly. What will happen to you? You'll become more and more free. That is what I meant today's subject, I said. This leads you, being yourself leads you to freedom. It first leads you to that spiritual evolution. There's so many things start happening to you. Duryodhana and Arjuna, compare and see. We might have been Duryodhana once upon a time. We might be an Arjuna today. You can see the differences that's happening. You can see the personality differences in both of them, their interior and exterior, and how life manifested for them. You can see the humility of Arjuna, the simplicity of Arjuna, the meekness of Arjuna, the surrender of Arjuna, the kindness and the grace of Arjuna. Comparatively, I'm telling you, he might not be a very excellent person. No, he was not completely evolved. You must understand that also. Arjuna was not completely evolved. He was still in the phase. He is like a seeker, Kshatriya. He is still on the path, but he is stuck with too many things in the world. As a grahastri, as a king, as his worldly responsibilities, as this and that kamanas, desires, so many things to do, responsibilities. So he's stuck with a lot of things. So Krishna is actually guiding him. Continue with that. No need to quit anything. You be in that phase. And that's the whole Mahabharata. If you see about, he wanted to quit and go, he dropped all his weapons. I can't do this. Because internally he was awakening. And Krishna said, no, you don't have to quit that way. Because Krishna knew he's not yet ready. Krishna knew there is a lot of tendencies within him, and that has to be given a completion. He has to taste the world. Without tasting, he cannot rise beyond it. Today, I put a post of my Gurudev, Jacob Shivan profile, where he said, if you want to rise above the world, when you have got this opportunity to come into this world, make sure you taste all that you wanted to taste, without which you cannot rise up. What does it mean? If you have urges, if you have desires and all that, that is why he says fulfill it. It doesn't mean certainly that you fulfill and get stuck into it like a pig jumping into a dirty pool and enjoying the drink and the bathing there and fully. And you might look at it, see, dirty, you're stuck there, come. But for the pig, it is life. So to hell with you and your talks. You don't know how much I'm enjoying it. Get lost. That is the plight of a person who's unaware and lost in bhoga, lost in the maya. Even the spiritual so-called medals that we wear, I do this, I do that, I'm linked with this, I'm linked with that, I'm into this yoga, I'm into that path, and I'm into this. All those are medals. It's of no use. It is just like this animal that is there and there, and it feels that everything is glorified here, but it doesn't know how deep it is getting stuck yet. So these tendencies are so sukshma, so subtle. Without sharpening your awareness, you cannot find this out. That is why I stress so much on sharpening your discrimination. Chidakasha Gita again and again tells about it. Sharpen your viveka, buddhi. Sharpen it to such an extent that you can razor sharp see these things. What is real, what is unreal. Because if you don't sharpen your awareness, you can have an elated feeling that all is well, everything is going fine, I'm on the right track. You might be on the so called right track. But what I'm saying is, you can be on the right track and still be doing wrong things. I've seen people doing this. On the right track, but doing the wrong things. Who said you can't do wrong things on the right path? In fact, I tell you, you have more challenge, more chances of doing the wrong things on the right path. Because on the right path, there is this feeling that all is right. And if you can't see through that, catches, you will continue doing, thinking it is right. And it's very difficult for somebody to correct you, or even yourself to correct yourself, because the feeling is that this is a right path. So whatever I do in this, according to the accordance of that path, what that path is calling for, it is all right. Means if there are teachings in the path, there are principles in the path, if there are do's and don'ts in the path, I just follow blindly the do's and don'ts. I do this, I don't do that. I am there. I'm doing right. For example, upavas. The path says fast for so much time. So I'm fasting. So just because I'm fasting, I feel I'm on the right track. No way. The path says sing songs, sing bhajans. And I start singing. Day and night I sing. And I feel I'm doing the right thing. No way. You can be just like a parrot singing it out with no bhav, no connection, nothing. That is not what the path is calling. But the path has not explained it in detail, because it's very detailed inside. One by one you can go. So the overall rules that is there, or the do's and don'ts, is that you do this, or you do mantra japa, do chanting. But if you do not know the technique of chanting, you can be chanting things in the wrong way also, and still feeling it is right, because that is a norm of the path. So many paths feel that you put on a loin cloth, sannyas le lo, and you are on the right path. And so many of them have taken sannyas, but they are doing all the wrong things in the world. But they feel, no, हमारे में वैराग्य है, हमने दुनिया त्यागा है, सब कुछ त्याग के हम अपना भव्य काम कर रहे हैं, या भव्य क्षेत्र में है, या भव्य पथ में है, या एक भव्य आश्रम में है, दिव्य आश्रम में है. So we are all glorified and dignified. No, you can be doing the most horrible things even sitting in an ashram, sitting in a temple. But that feeling which is there, that I am doing the right thing because I am in the right place, it's a false feeling. Without razor sharp awareness, you cannot catch these things. Forget you catching. If somebody else catches also, you will not agree to it. You still feel I'm doing, because this is what the norm is. This is what the whole system demands, and I'm doing it. I'm giving whatever I'm asked for. I'm giving. I have explained this before also many times. The system might, or path might say, do as much as possible selfless service. So I immediately take out myself and go and out in the world and start doing service. But deep inside, there might be a crave for fame. There might be a crave for establishing some contact, some business in that. Seva. Something for myself. Something very sukshma. I can't see it because I'm dead. I'm unconscious. I'm just following the rules. Seva karo. And I keep on doing all these things. So I can be doing the wrong things in the right place also. And even perhaps accumulating more karmas than punyas. Because all these are given by lobe. All these do this, do that. करने से क्या मिलता है? ये करो, करने से क्या मिलता है? That is the first question. Anybody, if they tell you, आप जाके ये करो. Let us say one divine person comes in front of you and says, आप रोज 1 घंटा इसका जाप करो. The first question that will obviously come to anybody's mind is, मुझे क्या मिलेगा उससे क्या होगा? तो अगर लाभ बताएंगे, if the benefit is given, then I might think of doing it or not doing it. So we are all motivated to do that action also for some benefit. So here also there is a seeking of benefit, and niswarth, nishkam seva is not that. But we end up doing the right thing in the wrong way and thinking this is right. And where the benefit should have been punya, the reward that you gain there is papa at times. But the being might not be able to see it. So the whole purpose itself is gone down the drain. That is why I say razor sharp discrimination. Develop the awareness to such an extent, so ruthlessly, that you're able to see every single thing. Why? Because when you see these things, which is not going to take you in the which is absolutely not going to take you in the right direction. Do you think it's going to take in the right direction? Today I put a post that Shuddha Bhavana. If that is not there, you do anything in life. कितना भी तपस करो, कितना भी साधना करो, do anything. But if the intention is not right there, if it is impure, the whole thing is gone down the drain. Everything just amplifies. The power of God consciousness is, and that it amplifies. It doesn't judge you. The Shiva that we talk about does not judge you. The God consciousness does not judge you. That is why Shiva is known as Bholenath. He is Bhola. He is innocent. He cannot judge you. You can be doing the wrong things. He will not come and tell you don't do this. Because you have been gifted the gift of free will. Because you have been given discrimination, the buddhi, the viveka. So if you want it, you will do it. If you do not want it, you will not do it. Whatever you sow, you are going to reap. That's the thing. God is not involved in it at all. And he is not bothered about your decisions. Because you create, you reap. As simple as that. That is the unconditional love, because that kind of freedom nobody can give. No human consciousness can give. So much of freedom that you are free to do anything in this world. I will not judge you. I will not punish you. You punish yourself, that's a different thing according to your karma. Because what you put your hand in, that magnifies, multiplies, and comes to you. I won't get involved in it. That much of freedom. I love you so much. And you go to any extent, you fall to any extent, any level you go, you become even Anguliman. I will not criticize you. But if you have that kind of rapid desire to change and that intensity, so be it, you are blessed with that also. You want to become an Anguliman, tatastu, Bholenath. You want to become a Ravana, tatastu. Lord Shiva never said no to Ravana. Ravana did penance on Shiva only. Because he knew the nature of Shiva, that he will get what he wants. He will manifest what he wants. He knows the powers. He knows he will get it, but the intention is not pure, impure intention. Ravana also boasted that I have a lot of powers. And he had siddhis and powers. He could do anything with those powers. He had that kind of powers, which not an ordinary man or maybe even a rishi has. Ravana had that. And Ravana knew that. But what use are those powers if the intention behind that is wrong? And you know the history of Ramayana, what happened. He had all the powers. But when the intention was not pure, it took him somewhere else. And you know what happened in the end. Who's responsible? Shiva? No way. Shiva was so unconditional. He asked for it and he just gave. Ravana received it. Ram asked for it, Shiva gave. I'm sure Shiva would, according to my deep understanding of the whole thing, Shiva wouldn't have been bothered even if Ram would have turned into Ravana. Even if Ram would have done something wrong, he would have still been unjudgmental, non-judgmental, because he loves that much. Decision is theirs, but Ram chose to become divine. Why? Because of the pure intentions. Intentions is all that matters. And they all received according to their intention. What does it show? It shows that you can also feel elated, glorified, dignified, top of the world, and you can be most powerful. You can feel most righteous. What you're doing is right. Forget that. You might even have powers. And I think about anything and that happens. And all. Ravana also had. That is of no use if the Viveka is absent. Viveka is everything, because Viveka is what makes one a Ram or a Ravana. Viveka makes you that. Your awareness makes you a Ram or Ravana. Your intention makes you. Basically, your intention makes you a Ram or Ravana, but awareness is higher than the intention, because if the intention is there and the awareness is absent, then anything can happen. But the intention is there. Let's say a wrong intention is there, but the awareness is there up. It will immediately correct the wrong intention. Awareness is the savior. Awareness is the guru there. Awareness is the guru of intention. Intention is not everything. There is somebody higher than that. That's your awareness. That's Viveka. Viveka is just a faculty through which the awareness acts. Awareness is sukshma. It doesn't have any quality. But that awareness functions through the buddhi. If your awareness is very high, the buddhi will be sharp. The power of discrimination between right and wrong will be very sharp. Very, very sharp. That is what catches you by before making an error. And even if you make an error, that is what changes you immediately, without the arrogance of justifying it or correcting it or putting it under the bed sheet and feeling it's all is well, or it's all gone, it's forgotten. Nothing is forgotten. Samskaras are still there. That samskaras is what is going to make you take a great deal out of your life later on. If you don't deal with the sanskaras, don't think your memory can forget it. Memory cannot forget it. Your so many janmas is a proof. What that child, what you are talking about, the arrogance of the child, the present meet, this is not one time samskara. This is coming from how many janmas. Memory, the death also could not erase that memory. It carried forward all those samskaras. The only solution to mukti is becoming aware of all these traits and not identifying with it anymore. There your evolution begins. It doesn't matter how much practice, what you do. Even I'm telling you, you have the best of guru also. There is no guarantee that you can evolve. There is no guarantee. %100% I'm saying this. See, during the time of Ram, also there was so many people. How many of them improved? After avatars came, all the avatars came one by one. During the avatars, only so many people lived. How many of them improved? How many of them transformed and changed? Very difficult. So you can be in the presence of an avatar and still be a dumb idiot. History has proven, our mythology has proven, the stories about rishis have proven, the stories about guru shishyas, lineages have proven that the shishya can be a dumb idiot even in the presence of a most powerful guru. There is no guarantee on that. What makes you change is your awareness, your consciousness, your intentions. In the presence of Krishna only. Duryodhana was also under him. Arjuna was also under him. And Krishna was never biased against anybody. He didn't treat Duryodhana as separate or Arjuna as separate. They suffered their own consequences. That's all. And Krishna didn't interfere. Because Krishna never created that kind of a destiny for them. They themselves created their destiny. Free will. Krishna didn't interfere. But he was so unconditional. So unconditionally gave the opportunity to Arjuna and Duryodhana, both together. Gave them the power of being, even the choice of what do you want. If he was really judgmental, he would have said, Duryodhana, you don't even come to my place. No way, I don't give you any chance for you to ask anything from me. But he gave him that opportunity. And Krishna knew the choices that they make. When Duryodhana made a choice, when Arjuna made a choice, he was aware of who's choosing what, but there also still did not interfere. He said, okay, Arjuna, you ask me, I'll come with you. Because you asked, not because I want to come with you. Then I'm a partial guru. I'm a partial God then. I want to come with you. I want to be with you. And so I choose you. That can be a partial God, partial guru. But Krishna said, I give you the choice. You choose to be with me, you want me, or you want my materialization. You want all the materialization, whatever I've materialized. My armies, they're very powerful. Bane banaye, full setup. You don't have to create your own army. The whole army belongs to me. What do you choose? Me or my army? Arjuna said, I want you. Because if I have you, I have everything. That is all that I need for my life. For the fulfillment of my purpose. What was Arjuna's goal? Mukti. Liberation. Poor thing, he was struggling. That is why he desperately wanted Krishna in his life. He knew Krishna can redeem him. He had no interest in any other materialistic aspects of or the manifestations of Krishna. Duryodhana had. Duryodhana always viewed that because Duryodhana knew that is power. If I have the manifestations of Krishna, that's my power. Everything I just get it. What will I do with Krishna? One person. What is he going to be of any use to me? And Krishna never interfered into any of their choices. Bhagavan Nityananda had two disciples. It is said that he asked, I can give you both. I can give you Raj Yoga. I can give you Mukti. Raj Yoga means Aishwarya, everything, all the riches and abundance and prosperity and everything that you want. Immortality, everything, all these things. I can give you everything. But I can give you liberation from all these things also. I can give you Mukti or I can give you Yukti. Yukti is this skills and materialisms. Chidakasha Gita beautifully explains about Yukti, Mukti, and Bhakti. When we have that opportunities, if you like to sit with that, the tattvas of Nityananda, beautiful. Very deep. If you read the lines, you will not understand. It's difficult to understand that. Very, very deep. The way he has used the words Mukti, Yukti, and Bhakti. Bhakti is devotion, and devotion is desireless devotion. Okay, he emphasizes on that. The bhakti, the devotion without any desires, any personal wants. That is called unconditional bhakti. That is called para bhakti. That for some other time, but he was also talking about yukti and mukti. He can give yukti, he can give mukti. One disciple chose yukti. One disciple chose mukti. The one who chose mukti, you will find his jiva samadhi just near the samadhi of the Guru. That is Shaligram Swami. If you look at his life, you will come to know whether he chose mukti or yukti. He was a vairagi completely. And Bhagavan knew it. Bhagavan knew their vrittis, their tendencies, their vasanas. According to that only, he said, I am capable of giving both, but I'll give it. Whatever you choose, you will get. What is the ideology here? I am not judgmental. What you choose, you get. Whatever you choose. Same story of Rama and Ravana, what Shiva said. Shiva is not different than Bhagavan Nityananda. Same tattva, same story. History repeats. So one got yukti, one got mukti. Same like Krishna and the story of Arjuna and Duryodhana, which I mentioned here. Now, again, I told Arjuna was very keen, very, very keen. He wanted mukti, but he was stuck in his tendencies, and Krishna could see his struggle. That pure bhavana, that pure Shuddha bhavana that he had, that is what made Krishna stay with the Shishya. Every master reads the intentions. That's more important than anything else. That's all they got to do with it. But they still don't interfere in any choices that's made. Same story. See. Now you can understand how important is Viveka here. All these stories which I said. Bhagavan Nityananda rehne do, Lord Krishna rehne do, Shiva rehne do, Ram Ravan. Anywhere you see how important is the Viveka, that discrimination. And where does discrimination come from? Your awareness. How important is that awareness itself? Awareness breaks you or makes you. Simple like that. And whether you make yourself or break yourself, nobody is going to interfere because it's your own decision. And what big dangers, and it's little stunning if you see. Your decisions make you. And if you think the decisions what I make and what I do is right, like what I said, It can be actually breaking me, but I feel it's making me. You can see the importance of awareness there. That's why I'm telling the awareness which is there. If that is not there, you follow any path, any guru, any religion, any dharma, any technique, any method, the same thing can cause even your destruction or your creation. The same power of Shiva only created a Ravana, the Shakti in Ravana, and the materialization of Ravana. And the same power created the Shakti in Ram and the creations and materialization of Ram. Same Shakti, they are not different Shakti. They did not say, Dushta Shakti I will give you and nice Shakti I will give to Ram. Same Shakti given. But the moment the Shakti was received, their consciousness changed it according to their, and that way they materialized it. So when this awareness starts coming in, and one by one, all these things that we are discussing in all these lives, one by one, you start seeing, become aware of it, and then you shudder and then you say, oh, no more, I'm not going to support this thing. That's enough. That much is enough. That's your sadhana. On this awareness journey, just becoming aware and saying, I don't support it anymore, that's enough. Because when you say, I don't want this, I don't support this, there it will be a tatastu. The grace and the blessing will come in. Whatever you ask for will be manifold multiplied. The other day I was in Tiruvannamalai when I was talking to some Westerners. They were telling that Tiruvannamalai is a place which magnifies whatever you are. No questions asked. It is not that I'll make you only good, come here. Whatever you have within you, it magnifies itself. That's very true everywhere, not only in Tiruvannamalai. You go anywhere, you'll see it. It magnifies. So you can see the importance of how important and precious it is to have this awareness, because things are just magnifying within. Many times in my sessions, I come across people, they are saying, we are doing so many things, but things are going wrong. And what we are doing is not a wrong thing. We are doing all the good things. But then why is the results wrong? There I just point out to them, you are doing good things, no doubt. But just check if you are doing the good things in the bad way, or if you're doing the right things in the right way, or if you're doing the right things in the wrong way. That also matters. Same thing that I'm saying here. Awareness will protect you. Awareness will help you. Awareness will guide you. Whose awareness? Not somebody else's awareness that they keep on reminding you or protecting you or saving you, and that's not going to happen. Your own awareness has to be developed in such a way. And when can you develop your awareness? A sutra I'll tell you. When can you aware and sharpen this awareness and make this awareness very powerful? When your intention is pure. Because the outcome of this pure intention itself is this gift of awareness. It's the grace. What do you call grace? We call talking about kripa, grace, kripa, grace. What is this grace? Is it a barter system that you do something and you get something? Normally they say kripa means you go and do seva to somebody, or you do guru seva and you will get kripa. I don't call that kripa. Because the moment you say आप कृपा करो आपको कृपा मिलेगी, आप सेवा करो आपको कृपा मिलेगी, it is a business deal that you have made. कुछ मिलने के लिए मैं जाके कर रहा हूँ, गया काम से, intention ही गड़बड़ है. I don't think kripa comes there. So people have this wrong belief that if you go and do guru seva, you will get a lot of punya. And so there is a mad rush. You go to any saint, you go to any avdutas, you see everybody is doing their seva. Go to avdutas. You'll see everybody is trying to press their feet. Everybody wants to bring them tea. Everybody wants to give them something, some food, some shelter. I've seen when avdutas are sitting, people come and give idli, they give them food, they bring bananas, they bring water. All the while they're running around. Something they take from me. Now, do you think that take little from me is from the need coming that, you let this person benefit, or this person is hungry, let me feed him? If you're really that serious, then every day you should sit there and feed him, because one meal you give and go, that's not going to, if you're really concerned about the health of that person. But we are not doing that. We are running with this wrong belief that somebody said guru seva karo. क्यों, क्या मिलेगा मुझे गुरु सेवा करने, क्या मिलेगा, what is the benefit? Then the benefits are told. गुरु सेवा से आपको ये मिलती है, आपको वो मिलती है, फलाना डिमकाना मिलती है, एंड सबसे ऊपर गुरु कृपा मिलती है. When intention is there is that कि कृपा मिले उसलिए मैं सेवा करूं, काहे का सेवा हो? Seva has to be out of love. You go and do, even if you want to press the feet of your guru, you are from inside seeing that feet is so tired. That feet has been working whole day long. That feet has been going so many places, taking so many people's burden. That feet is walking so many people, showing so many direction, that path, that the way that feet is going. Let me give that little rest to that feet, whatever way I can. Let me soothe it. This is that bhav, this is that bhakti of seva. Then you go and press that feet, it is something else. Then you say Guru, and such people are not even bothered about Guru Kripa, because they are not doing it for Guru Kripa. They are not doing any business there. What is helping them see this? Awareness. Awareness will make them aware of this. And rest, there is no awareness, they will go and jump into the feet of the Guru. And such horrible examples I'll give you. People going and pressing feet of some avdutas and then trying. That is causing more inconvenience. That person was happy and comfortable before people started pressing the feet. Now you are causing more trouble to that person and you are calling it seva. What an ignorance. All in the mad rush for kripa. God knows what they get. But they surely imagine they are getting kripa. This is the same thing I'm telling you. You might believe it, that you are getting this and that. You really don't know what you're getting. Because you're unaware, completely unaware. I remember one incident when my guru was taking a big event in Mumbai. He had just arrived from some foreign, I think from Hong Kong, he had just come. And he had hardly one day time or something like that. And last moment, he gave me a call through someone and said that I must immediately come and report there. I was in Delhi. So overnight, I had to take a flight from there, an overpriced flight, and somehow came. And the next day, the program started and was there. And that event, nobody was there with Gurudev. No family members, no, nothing. And so everybody had the liberty to walk in, do anything, talk to him, anything. And because if somebody is there, it's taken care of. And then it was flooded by people. I was helpless. I had got a call from his family saying that take care of him. I said, what can we take care of him? He is the one who takes care of him. What are we going to take care of? And whom does he listen to to take care? Who wants to put the hand in the lion's mouth? I said, I can't do that. I said, you are there, you got to take care because nobody's there. And I'm looking around. And there's a big rush and all those things. And we can't do anything. And 2 times I go and try to help in some way I can, little way I can. But हम छोटे लोग, वो इतने बड़े बड़े भीड़ के सामने क्या है? Powerful लोग. And ऐसे ही हुआ. They're trying to help in my own ways. And suddenly Gurudev saw me and said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I'd asked some work there. I said, "Yeah, I'm doing that." Hey, don't worry, I'll be fine. You carry on with your work. Okay, I went. Then I told, "ये हमारी बस की बात नहीं है, हमारा काम." I came back, I was doing. And then people are flooding, all those things happening. After some time, one day passed, second day passed. I saw tiffins coming, food coming, this coming, that coming, and everything coming, and he has no rest. He can't say anything. So I was quiet. Second day, he barged out of the room. I think there was a break, and then after the break, he came and he sat on his chair. His face was not very pleasant. He was in a different mood, and I could read that. I said, "Okay, now something is going to come." He was sitting, and then he said, "मेरी सब लोग सेवा करना चाहते हैं. Everybody wants to do my सेवा. एंड मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ. आई वॉन्ट टू मेक अ रिक्वेस्ट कि सबसे बड़ी आप सेवा मेरा ये करो कि आप मेरी सेवा ना करो." He said, "The biggest seva service you can do to me is don't do the service to me." He shouted literally. He said, "I can't sit there. I can't do what I want. Eat this, eat that, take this, take that." He said, "Henceforth, nobody come into my place. Leave me alone. I can do my own seva. So don't do any seva to me." And he said, "Leave me in my room. Keep what you want. You keep there. And like a bird, I'll move in my room." मैं मस्त मौला ऐसे घूमूंगा like a free bird. अब मुझे जो खाना है मैं खाऊंगा, नहीं खाना है नहीं खाऊंगा, अपनी मौज में मैं बैठूंगा. That's what a liberated being is. You can't control. All in the name of seva. It doesn't go. These equations don't go that way. The teachings, just blindly following a teaching will not help. सेवा करो, टूट पड़ो. I've seen sometimes they go into places. There are people waiting to do seva. Big places. And the gates are locked and everything. Now they're going to allow after some time. Seva is going to begin. And the gates open, and you should see the mad rush as though those cows are left open, in that bullfight. When the gates open, how the bulls run. They run that way and they will throw each other here and there, and they will run and want to. What kind of seva is this? You're doing more damage than hell. So much of competition of doing seva. I've given this many examples many times. When I used to eat bandara in the ashram, and khatam hoke, I used to come near the wash basin place where they used to wash the dishes. We all wash our own plates. We all know that. So I'm going and somebody snatches my plate. And hey, what are you doing? Snatch करके they went and they're going and putting under the table. Hey, and they're laughing and say, "Hey, हमें सेवा करने का मौका दो, सेवा करने का." And that's not the end. That person has just began scrubbing the plate. Another person snatches it from that person. Hey, हमें भी तो सेवा दो. लड़ाई झगड़ा चल रही है उधर. What is this सेवा for? Either for some benefit, something to flatter or something like that, or if not that, at least agreed for some punya. पुण्य मिलेगा, पुण्य मिलेगा. ऐसे धक्का मुक्की करके थोड़ी पुण्य मिलेगा, पाप मिलेगा और कहीं तो. And I would say, okay, take. And anytime I go, if somebody wants, I'll give. Now also, if somebody comes and snatches, they don't just take it from me. Even the people who are sitting, that's a habit. सेवा करनी है हमें, सेवा करनी है. ऐसे धक्का मुक्की करके छीना झपटी करके थोड़ी सेवा होता है. कभी कभी छीन के लेके जाते हैं, पता नहीं वो बर्तन कहीं लगेगा आदमी को, कभी खुद गिरेगा. उस बॉदर्ड है वो, आप धो लेना, मैं इसको धो लेंगे. अरे Now also they do something, they want to snatch it and ऐसे, अरे आप आराम से बोलो भाई, आपको सो कॉल्ड सेवा करना है, मैं खुद सेवा कर देता हूँ आपकी, हाथ में दे देता हूँ, झोली में डाल देता हूँ आपको। आई विल नॉट फाइट विथ यू, आई डोंट वांट, मुझे डर लगता है। आई विल गिव इट माई सेल्फ ओनली, आई विल सरेंडर टू योर सेवा भाव। डू इट। I can see the nonsense there. It is just coming from this अनअवेयर अनकॉन्शियस बीइंग। एक रूल हमने पकड़ लिया, सेवा करना है, करो, कैसे भी करो, हुक्कर करो। इंटेंशन ही गड़बड़ तो सब गड़बड़। दैट्स व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग। यू आर नॉट श्योर ऑफ द इंटेंशन, व्हाई यू आर डूइंग दैट आल्सो गड़बड़। इफ यू कांट सी दैट आई एम डूइंग इट फॉर इंटेंशन टू डू सम फ्लैटरी और टू win some punya or something, like if you can't even see that, the whole thing is gone in the opposite direction. Now see the thing, कोई छीन लिया मेरे हाथ से, एंड मेरे नहीं, कहीं भी, आई हैव सीन इवन ईच अदर, somebody is washing a plate there or somebody is brooming, झाड़ू मार रहे हैं, the other person comes, उसको धक्का मार के, छोड़ो छोड़ो, मैं सेवा करती हूँ, मैं सेवा करता हूँ। और वो बेचारा हेल्पलेस, देयर आल्सो हु स्ट्रांग विल विन इन सेवा। ये भी होता है, ऐसे ही होता है, जो ज्यादा शक्तिशाली है उसको मिलती है सेवा, क्योंकि वो होता है, कर लेता है वो कैसे भी करके, छीना झपटी करके। तो द वीक एंड द मीक विल सरेंडर, दे हैव टू सरेंडर, ओके भाई कर लो। तीसरा जो देखता है वो बोलता है, देख तेरा मौका गया पुण्य से, यू हैड अ गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर पुण्य, एंड तुम्हारा मौका गया, उसने ले लिया पुण्य तुम्हारा। मैं वही खड़ा था, आई सेड, जिसने छीना झपटी के, मेरे हिसाब से तो उसने पाप कर लिया। किसी का दिल दुखा के, किसी से छीना झपटी करके, फोर्सफुली ऐसे करके, गलत इंटेंशन से मुझे पुण्य मिलेगा, मेरे ख्याल से वो पापी ले लिया होगा। ये बंदे ने जो सरेंडर किया, ले भाई तुझे फल मिले इसका, दिस पर्सन सेड ओके यू वांट टू डू सेवा, टेक, मे यू गेट द पुण्य। आई सेड दिस इज द पर्सन हु हैज अर्नड द पुण्य अकॉर्डिंग टू माय रीडिंग हियर। सी, पासा पलटा। जहां दिखता है कि somebody has lost punya and somebody has gained punya, actually it might be happening reverse, who knows? This is why never get caught up in these kind of nonsense activities where you are just doing something blindfold, अंध भक्तों के, होश पूर्वक, मुर्दे बन के कोई भी चीज नहीं कर, मुर्दा बन के सेवा किया तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, जागरूक होकर सेवा किया तो कोई अर्थ है उस चीज का, वैल्यू है, it adds value to that service, at as well it adds value to your own spiritual evolution, makes sense. I believe it is even much better to stay away from such kind of competitions, unwanted activities. At least you will not create another new samskara, a new karmic connection. क्या पता उस बंदे के साथ भिड़ के अगेन यू आर कनेक्टिंग न्यू कार्मिक डेब्ट। इससे आता यू बी इन स्टिलनेस, आप अवेयरनेस में रहो, दीप अपने मस्त में रहो, you will gain more than unwanted activities that you're doing. That is why even if you are following any teaching, even if you're following any activity, suddh buddh mein, hosh purvak, you have to be alive when you do that. If you do anything dead, it is causing a hamper to your spiritual growth. This is what I said in today's be yourself means being yourself. When can you be yourself? When all this nonsense starts going out. Otherwise, there is a different meaning to be yourself. Matlab, incomplete. If I am incomplete, if I am full of muck, if I am full of ego, anger, lust, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, all this attachment, possession, and pride, and all these things, it is there, then I will say, I am myself. मैं be yourself means, yeah, I am myself. This is me. मैं ऐसे ही हूँ. That is stating something without complete awareness. An aware person will be completely aware, and the person of awareness will be a different. Be yourself means minus all these things, the real you. And when you start becoming this, you will see a lot of challenges. Like I'm talking these things plain blunt here, I have a lot of challenges because I'm speaking this truth. Now you might say I am speaking my truth. No, you sit on it, मंथन करके देखो, आपको समझ आएगा क्या है. Everything will be very crystal clear to you. Use your own buddhi and see. Don't have to believe what you are saying. People who get offended are the people who saying इसने बोला. अरे आपको बोला तो आपको सुनने को किसने बोला? मंथन करो और सच है तो मानो, नहीं है तो फेंक के जाओ उस चीज को. सीरियस क्यों लेना है उस चीज को? बकवास कर रहा है, ठीक है, बकवास कर रहा जाओ. अर्थ है तो मंथन करो, उस पर चिंतन करो, जानो उस चीज को, फिर मानो. ऐसे ही कौन मानने को कह रहा है? हमारी प्रॉब्लम है कि हम ये सब मान्यता ऐसे ही सुनते आ रहे हैं. कहीं सुना, हमने मान लिया, करते गए, मान्यता पे जाने नहीं कोई चीज. ये देखो अब सेवा की, मैं एक सेवा इतना देर बात कर रहा हूँ, एक टॉपिक. यू दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड, यू गिव मी एनी टीचिंग आई विल गो पेनिट्रेट डीप इनटू इट. व्हाई? बिकॉज दिस हैबिट of awareness, discriminating, discretion, complete into every single thing. इसलिए मैं बोला if you want to progress, चिंतन मंथन करो हर एक टीचिंग पे, फिर उसका सार मिलेगा. then you will get the essence of the teaching. That essence is going to help in your life, not the blind teachings, or not the what you call empty teachings. These are empty teachings otherwise, खोखले हैं. when we use it without bodh, खोखले हैं. सेम टीचिंग्स व्हेन वी आर मंथन कर रहे उस चीज पे, जानने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, देन वी आर ब्लॉसम दैट. इट्स द सेम अवेयरनेस. It is the same awareness that can pick up a Chigdakash Gita and read it. If somebody is not aware, you try reading it, you will not understand anything. Or you might make different meaning. भगवत गीता आज भी लोग पढ़े हैं, कितना सही मीनिंग कितने लोगों ने निकाला, अपने अपने तरीके से मीनिंग निकालते हैं. कृष्ण ने कहा युद्ध कर, दुश्मन को मत छोड़, दुश्मन को मार डालना चाहिए, ऐसे बोला ही नहीं कृष्ण. दिस इज माय इनर रिफ्लेक्शन. नाउ आई एम टेकिंग, आई अंडरस्टूड भगवद गीता ओनली सो मच. जितनी मेरी समझ है, जितनी मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, लिमिट है, उधर तक ही मुझे समझ आएगा. Why? It has not gone above that. It's the awareness has not been opened up. Somebody who's aware, read the Bhagavad Gita, it will be completely a different story. All these stories that I tell you here, I have not read it from anywhere. I have read the Bhagavad Gita, but ये deep meaning अपने आप आ जाता है अंदर. चिदाकाश गीता है, all these meanings come out by itself. This is when you are doing the शोधन. शोधन जब आप करते हो उस चीज पे, निकलता है, ये उसका रस निकलता है. और यही रस काम लाता है अध्यात्म में. वो खोखले टीचिंग्स नहीं, वो खोखले स्क्रिप्चर्स नहीं. And even in the Bhagavad Gita, में Uddhav is absolutely absent. Uddhav is somebody who had realized the Bhagavad Gita very well. Arjuna had not yet realized. Arjuna was not taking only instructions. Okay, आप बोल रहे हो, आप बोलते हो, मैं मान लेता हूँ, बोलते हो, मैं मान लेता हूँ, हर चीज मान्यता पर. But slowly that started transforming Arjuna into मानने नहीं. He wanted to now know. And when he wanted to know, you are the supreme, I want to really know. I just don't want to believe that you are supreme. That is when the Virat Rupa shown to him, because he asked for it. Virat Swarupa of Krishna, the supreme consciousness, was shown to him because he asked for it. Till then, it's not going to come. There were so many people around Krishna that time. Why did he show it to only one person, not the others? Because mumukshatva tha usme. He wanted to know, he wanted to realize what is the truth. इसलिए तो कृष्ण को पकड़ा था, और कुछ मकसद नहीं था. And there was one person who already had done, इसके सब पार गए थे, उद्धव, another friend of Lord Krishna, उद्धव. उनका व्याख्यान आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. There is no description of उद्धव anywhere in this Bhagavad Gita. उनका रोल ही नहीं वहां पे. किसका रोल है? Arjun's main role is there. Whole Bhagavad Gita is about Arjun, the seeker, the mumuksha, seeker, who's seeking. So he's the seeker. And Krishna is the creator, the God, the supreme everything, the guru, and Arjuna is the disciple. Krishna is the consciousness, Arjuna is the mind. And there was Uddhav who had reached above all this, who had transcended all this, gone there, known himself. That is why his thing is not there. So Krishna had to give the Bhagavad Gita only to Arjuna. Why did anybody question this? Why did Lord Krishna not give Bhagavad Gita to Uddhav? To Uddhav he gave Uddhav Gita, which is not popular at all. वो बात अलग ही है. Why was Uddhav Gita not given to Arjuna? Because Uddhav had transcended all this bhoga. He had risen above the bhoga. Arjuna was still stuck in the world. मेरे पिता, मेरे माता, मेरे गुरु, मेरे बंधु, मेरा राज्य, मेरा धर्म, मेरे कर्तव्य, मेरी इच्छाएं, मेरे स्वप्न. Still there. So he was sunk in the pool of Maya. And Arjuna was guiding him how to come out of the Maya. The whole guidance of how to come out that Maya is Bhagavad Gita. While you are living in the world, how to come out of it. Those who are struggling in the world, how to come out of it. You read the Bhagavad Gita, you will get all the essence. Not get more drowned further, how to come out of it. By being in the world and still not being in the world. Bhagavad Gita. Uddhav Gita was different. He didn't need Bhagavad Gita. Uddhav Gita was beyond everything. You read Uddhav Gita, it's completely different. It has nothing to do with the world, Bhautik, Sansari. And Uddhav was ready for that. So Krishna gave to the one who was ready the higher wisdom. It's not that Arjuna did not want the higher wisdom. He actually wanted that only. He was behind Krishna all the time because he wanted the Brahma Gyan. But Krishna did not directly give him anything. घुमा फिरा के घुमा फिरा के घुमा फिरा के घुमा फिरा के धीरे धीरे करो करो करता 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 करता. He said, you are the king, you are the doer, you do this, that, you have to do it. And slowly, in that only, he started training him that you are not the karta. See the Bhagavad Gita, how it begins with the karta and it takes you out of the karta. Makes you a doer first and then he tells you are not the doer. Then he says, go into your being. So that is the transition phase from moving from karta to being a karta. There he says, I am the karta. You are feeling here. You are the karta. You are the doer. That is why you are suffering so much. So that is the secret of Bhagavad Gita, if you see. He's trying to tell that only. And the same thing I'm talking here, this is after that. Okay, we are in the transition only again, leaving the karta. But once the karta is left out, the doership is gone, and one starts coming into the being and being settled, and all these hotchpotch is gone. Worldly stuff is gone. No more interest in the world. Completely withdrawn. And Uddhav, a ready person. Same Krishna now gives the highest gyan to Uddhav. Why? Because of the readiness. He could not give it here directly. He has to first bring him out of this pool of Maya. So यहाँ का ज्ञान अलग, वहाँ का ज्ञान अलग. But same Krishna gave it. That is what our lives are. How we want, what we ask for, with what intention we ask for. The cosmos, the supreme, reflects that. It gives you. That's what I was telling in day first today's life. I wanted this. My intense seeking was only this. I had no interest in anything. However impressive it is, and everybody was trying to impress me. That you don't know how this is, how powerful, how impressive. Good for you. I can't make sense. It's not making sense to me. So everything is happening around me and I'm sitting still there, unmoved, unimpressed. Seeking is inside, and the seeking is responded. So Tirunamalai and the Ramana Tattva is my attraction. It's my creation. It's what I wanted. If I want that, I'll be thrown there. If I don't want that, I'll be thrown somewhere else. What I ask, similar circumstances. And it's not that the Guru cannot give it. Same roles. Krishna gave something to Uddhav, gave something else to Arjuna. The same Guru is capable enough to give it to Uddhav and to Krishna also. But Krishna needs more of the physical presence there because there is lot of things happening there. Uddhav was never in Krishna's presence. You see, you search for him in the Bhagavad Gita, you will not get him. In fact, when Krishna was about to leave his body, Uddhav, because of his heightened awareness, he comes to know and he runs to see Krishna after years. And he goes and meets him and says, his friend, I know you're leaving, he says. I know you're leaving, but you must give me that which is meant for me now, before leaving. And Krishna also knows he has come. And Krishna knows what he has to give. And he gives him the final Upadesha. Krishna gives the final Upadesha to whom? Uddhav. He never ever gave that to anybody else because they were not ready for it. It's not that because they're not capable to give. It's not that Krishna was not capable to give. Readiness nahi hai abhi tak. Still stuck in the Maya, still stuck in the world. And Krishna has no problem. Krishna doesn't say, hey, what are you stuck in this world? He will not judge. He understands. Karuna Bhav is there. Okay. They are stuck because of, okay, I'll help you out of that. I'm ready to help you out of that. I'm there for you. I'm there for the problem. Whatever you're seeking, I give that. Whether you're there in my presence, not there in my presence, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing is, Arjuna did not realize his presence, what vastness of Krishna, because he was all the time there and he took him for granted, like his friend, all the time, my friend, my savior, my guru. There he had only that. Uddhava had realized that you don't need all those kind of formalities. He was connected with the Chaitana of Krishna and he was always getting guidance from Krishna. So one last time when Krishna had to leave his body, he went to him to give his final bye and asked him for the final advice now what to do. And you'll be shocked what Krishna said to Uddhav. I've done this before also, I've said this before. You read the Uddhav Gita then. He gave very beautiful the preachings and teachings of complete different. You'll say this is, Krishna can never say this. Because all that we have known is Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because we are that worldly people, stuck in that. So we can only understand the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. We cannot relate with Uddhav Gita. It's our readiness only, our reflection. So whatever we learn is whatever we are able to catch. If you read the Uddhav Gita, it's completely renunciation. Arjuna, he said, don't leave the world. And to Uddhav, he says, pack up. He says, Kali Yuga is coming. I am leaving now because Kali Yuga is coming, approaching. And I advise you, you also seek the most isolated cave and finish your last practice and leave this world immediately because Kali Yuga is coming. I am also leaving. What do you say about that? You'll say, this cannot be the Krishna. Hey, the Krishna I know says, no, don't leave the world. Be in the world. You don't have to run away from anything. You be in the world, fulfill your responsibility. Why did he say be in the world and fulfill your responsibility? Because you are stuck in your responsibilities. You cannot understand that. So he says fulfill. My master always said fulfill. Bhog karo. Today only I put that post. Chakho, he said. जिंदगी में आए हो तो चख लो सब कुछ, बिकॉज बिना छके तुम उसके ऊपर नहीं उठ पाओगे. दैट इज व्हाट ही सेड. दैट कृष्णा आल्सो न्यू अबाउट अर्जुना. बिना चखे तुम निकल नहीं पाओगे यहाँ से. यू हैव टू हैव दैट. एंड सो ही एनकरेज्ड, गो लिव योर लाइफ. जा सिमरन जी ले अपनी जिंदगी. क्योंकि सिमरन बिलग रही थी. वासना इतनी तेज है, अमरीशपुरी तक रोक नहीं पाया था उनको. What was that? The tendencies, the tendency. Even if the father is stopping, she wants to run there because that's what my world. So finally, he has to give up and say, "Okay, ja, Simran ji le apni zindagi." That is what even Krishna was advising to Arjuna. Okay, don't leave the world. You don't have to run anywhere. You have these tendencies in you. Fulfill it. Completely fulfill it. Be one with it. Complete it and rise above it. And to Uddhav, he says, leave this world now. Go to your cave, go to the highest mountains, do your final meditations, and leave as soon as possible because I am leaving. Because Uddhav could relate to this, because Uddhav was empty. He had nothing to be now stuck in the world. So, two different teachings, how can it be opposites? It can be. That is what God is. That is what the Supreme Tattva is. No partiality in it. Who asks what? They are given. Simple. What you ask, you get. Like to become a Ravana? Tatastu. Bholenath will always do Tatastu. You want to become a Ram? Bholenath will say Tatastu. No interference. My master, I know he has that Tattva. I know him very well, deeply from inside, what he is. And I cannot describe all that physically because there it loses all this. That is why I'm mum when it comes to the internal consciousness. I've never spoken about my inner experiences with him. Never ever. And I don't think I'll ever speak. Because the moment you express it, it's gone. It becomes cheap. Outer expressions you can always do. Outer things you can always, because that is very relatable. And that is very agreeable also. It all comes from this tattva only. So when all these things one by one is loosened out, then you start getting a grip of who you are. Being yourself. See this whole word, these two words. Being means no doing, karta nahi, akarta, just being. And what does it say? Being yourself. Yourself. Being yourself. See, so beautiful those words are. That is what I mean in this today's. I don't mean that be yourself. I am myself. मैं ऐसा ही हूँ. I am this way. Who can stop me? अच्छा लगे या लगे, मैं ऐसे ही हूँ देखो. And then we say, I am myself. No, I don't mean that. Meaning this self. Because, okay, I think another 15-20 minutes. Something very important I heard today and I said, wow, it relates so well. Because that being yourself is so true. Whatever you are, being yourself means just being centered in whatever way you are, whichever role you are playing in life. If you are a father, you are completely being a father without having any other definitions of what the world is calling father. You have nothing to do. You have nothing to explain to anybody, no justification to give anybody, no good books to be, no adherence to this. Whom are we trying to justify? Nothing. I am saying just being whatever you are completely, absolutely completely. Because when you start being yourself, This is a certain kind of awareness. You cannot live being yourself without awareness. So I'm coming to that only. When you start living in that being yourself, you are an authentic being. Authenticity becomes your power. Authenticity means when you are centered in your being, and whatever you are at that moment, you feel you are very having integrity towards that. Very authentic. You have no two views. You express everything very beautifully. Whatever is inside, whatever is the truth, you just pick it out. There's nothing to worry about what happens here and there. You are just yourself, presenting yourself the way you are. You are being yourself the way you are. I read this beautiful story about a prostitute in the time of Ashok Samrat, the Emperor Ashok. It is said that once there was a big flood, and the whole village was flooded, and many towns were washed, many thousands of people died, cattle, everything was destroyed, and floods, rivers were raging, the monsoons. And Ashoka Samrat was very tensed. So he was once standing and looking at the mighty Ganga river flowing very hard and taking away so many lives. And he's just standing there and thinking, is there some way? Is there some way that this destruction can stop? And while Ashok Samrat is there, a prostitute comes to that place where the king is. And she comes and she's standing there. And she's a well known prostitute. Name was Bindumati. Very well known prostitute. Very beautiful and all this. Even the king knew her. Very established prostitute of the kingdom. So King Samrat is thinking deeply, can something stop? And thinking, he goes, this river is moving in this direction and taking everything away. Is there any way? Can the river flow reverse from where it is coming? I think that is the only way it will stop, because the flood is just flushing down. If it goes reverse, all this havoc that is causing down there will stop. Now it's an absurd thing. How can the river go reverse? But that thought was coming to him. And the prostitute from the side said, "Oh king, that is possible." And he's like shocked. What is possible? She said, "You feel that the river should flow the other way." Now he is a little perturbed. How does she know this? And he says, "How is that possible?" She says, I can do that. I can make the river flow reverse. Then how on hell can you do? How on earth can you do all that? It's possible. Then please do it. I'm surprised and I'm amused. Let's see. And the prostitute closes her eyes, and in a few minutes, the river starts flowing backwards. Ganga. The king, Samrat Ashok, is shocked. How can this happen? And he asks this, he looks at this prostitute again from top to bottom. And he knows this is not a simple lady, this is not a prostitute. It's someone else in some disguise, maybe God or something. He immediately falls at the feet of that prostitute and says, "Oh, whoever you are, please forgive me, but I know you are something. How on earth can this be possible? It's such a big miracle. Not even the greatest of Siddhas can do this kind of things. You did it just by closing your eyes. What did you do and how did you do?" She said, "First of all, O king, please do not think I am anything else. I am this prostitute. You can't be. You are something else." She said, "No, I am a prostitute. I am nobody else. What you know me as, what the whole world knows me as, I am the same prostitute. Nothing is different. I live this way." He says, "But how can you as a prostitute even have these kind of tendencies? That is what I'm curious to know." And she says, "I don't know O king, about all that. I don't know about powers or all these things. You were standing here. I just had this feeling that you are having this desire. And then I looked at the river. I said, yeah, what's the big deal? You can do it. And I closed my eyes and I just send these vibrations, the signals, or this prayer to the river, Ma Ganga, to flow backwards. And she did. And she said, what's so great in that? The king is amused because he is a chamatkar, these are miracles. And then she says, on pestering, the king pesters, and she says, I had met a divine person once, and he gave me only one upadesha because I took his blessings and I seeked something from him. Probably he must have seen something in the prostitute. He just said, be yourself. Just be yourself. Who you are, in whichever role you are, whichever place you are, be fully there in that. That's all that you are supposed to do. I won't tell you anything else. So she is surprised. How can a divine person tell this? He said, you don't know I am a prostitute. Whatever you are, be that. He said, how can I be like that? I am looking for evolution and all these things. And I am in the most dirtiest business where they sell the bodies. So there is where you are getting wrong. Without judgment, I said, without judgment, whatever you are, be that 100% completely. If you are a prostitute, be a prostitute. When customers come to you, all kind of customers will come to you. The rich will come, the poor will come. Do not discriminate anybody that this is rich, this is poor. You only keep your eye on the money because that's your purpose. What is your purpose? Your money is everything. You don't have to look into anything else. Just put your attention on the money itself. That's all. So your view, your idea will be on the money itself. Everything will be focus will be on the money. If a rich person comes, all that matters to you is the money. Poor person comes, all that matters is the money. If a king comes, all that matters is money. If a beggar comes, all that matters is money. If a handsome person comes, money. If the ugliest person comes, money. No discrimination. You treat everyone in one neutrality, one way. And she said, I just followed that. That's all that I know. I have not done any sadhana. I have not done any tapas. I don't know anything. I don't know kripa. I don't know nothing. I just got this instruction and this was my profession. Only thing that I knew is this. So what you see, O king, from top to bottom, every cell of mine is a prostitute here. Every inch of my body is the tattva of completely doing its job non-stop. But when it is doing its job, it's only focused on one thing. It doesn't, nothing else matters to it. Even if a lame man comes to me, I don't care. Even if the most healthiest person comes to me, I don't care. Okay, just let me hide this, move this person. Somebody's come with muscles and a fitness guy, somebody. So she said, all that I was doing was being myself. He said, being myself. I was only on that one frequency. Now King of Ashok understood what was that. She's so innocent. She just followed the instruction. But what that person did was, see, that mystic did not try to change the profession, did not discriminate and judge the person. This is a low work to do, and you have got to become a saint. You cannot be. You are a papi in this. Nothing. See the grace of that mystic. Whoever you are, who cares? Whatever you are, who cares? Who judges you? God doesn't judge you. Your intentions and your attention, that one pointedness, which is there. Because every time when she was only focused on one particular tattva, that is the money thing. What she was doing is she was becoming aware of something and she was becoming unaware of all the other things, which was not meant to be mingled with. She was unaware. So in that state, she was not even aware of the act, anything that is happening to her. You can say she had transcended the grossness and she was in a different state of awareness all the time. Though so called she was in a very low lying, there's nothing low lying. So this developed to such an extent that this sharpened her awareness to such a level that it made a saint out of her. And when she is not in her body, when she has this awareness and when she has realized that she is not the body, how does it matter what the body is happening to it? What is happening to it? The consciousness is pure and divine and enlightened. You see the avdutas, dirty clothes, dirty bodies, filthy bodies, unkept, no, not clean, not bathed, naked bodies, torn cloth, rags on the bodies, diseased bodies, but their spirit is out of it, mukta. And when they are not the body, how does it matter? Anything matters. This just jolted me when I heard this. I remember even Osho saying once this story. So this said, oh my God, this is so much about that awareness that we are trying to talk about. Just being aware of your awareness. You just drop your mind. You just drop everything else that is connected to it. Today I had one of my friends call me from Tiruvannamalai. She's not from Tiruvannamalai, but she comes to Tiruvannamalai very often. So she was in a little dilemma. She was having this fear of death all the time. It was bothering her too much. And she's doing some practices, very deep practices. And all it's very obvious, all these things begin happening. When you get too deepened, then all these things starts showing up. Some point of the other, you have to face these things. What is the reality? Spirituality will show you. It is not intellectual knowledge, it will experientially begin happening to you, where it starts demonstrating itself and showing you that you are not the body. It means it. So if it wants to really check whether you are the body or not, these kind of fears are the best thing to check whether you still feel you are the body or not. So all these things surface up. So she was talking. I said, we can go on endlessly talking about this. What I am saying is, what I know, what I teach, or what I'm trying to teach, or whatever, is all about awareness. And all that I've learned is don't abandon your awareness. Anything that you do else apart from awareness is happening in your mind. That's all mind activities. So what you're selling now, the fear, this thought coming, that thought coming, where is the thought coming? It's in your mind. And if you're affected by the thoughts coming in your mind, it simply shows you're not in your awareness, but you're in your mind. So all that I can say is shift into awareness. It's so simple to say. I said, why is it so difficult to understand? No, it's so simple to say because the moment I shift into that, I get what you say, I feel, I have understood, I have realized. Even in one of your sessions, I was there and I got that. Physically, we had one session all together. That time, he said, I got a glimpse of it for 15 minutes or something like that. In that 1 or 2 minutes, I had that. And I understand what you're saying, but I can't stay there. I said, if you can stay there, you're a Mirabai. Why are you so perturbed with that? That you can't stay there. If you would have stayed there, then you're a Mirabai. You're a saint. So there is nothing to worry about it. If I'm drifting back, okay, no problem, because that is my practice. That is why I'm a seeker. I'm still learning. I'm practicing. So it's a part of me to come back and go and come back and go. because I've not realized that. And my attempt is to realize and expand and extend that state. So that's okay. Even I'm a practitioner. I don't say I'm a perfected being. And I know these things happen. So that's okay. We have dedicated our lives to these kind of practices. So you practice that. If you're drifting into your mind, shift into your awareness whenever you know that. Says, yeah, but when I get that feeling, see, something that beautiful that she said was not beautiful, but you can see how the depth of it. I don't know how we can catch it. He said, those few moments when I have that glimpse of that I am nothing, I'm in the blank state, the complete nothingness, and I know, and there is a knowing also that I'm in this, I am this being, but I can't stay there for long. I come back, and when I come back, my mind is saying, why can't I stay there for long? See this, huh? Very sukshma catch it is. If you can catch. It says, I have a thought and I come back. And the thought is, what is the use of this? Are you going to sit like this for a whole day? What is life then? You're going to be like this only in awareness? And that comes and that thought bothers me. You tell me now something about it. So I said, on one side, you want to enter into nothingness. And on the other side, you are questioning the same thought, the conflict that's happening. And who is the questioner? The mind. This mind cannot sit idle. The mind doesn't like its own death. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes to die. Even an ant, you try to touch it also, it will bite you. It doesn't want to die. Why will the ego want to die? Why will the mind want to die? Now, when you're doing these practices, the mind knows it's going to now dissolve and die slowly. It also wants to live. The ego doesn't want to die. The ego will try its best to survive because the ego's identity is everything. So cunningly, it will do a lot of things to you to make its presence felt, like the child does. When you're talking to your family members or relatives, the child who is playing there suddenly sees I am not getting attention, it will start doing all kind of nonsense. Or it will sing a song, it will try to dance, something so that attention goes there. Exactly this is what your mind does. Now it is not getting attention because your attention is in your awareness. You know you are not no more aware here. Now it will get vichlit. It will get restless because it's suffocating, it's dying, and it wants to live. So it will pull your attention. Now it is pulling your attention not in weird ways. It is not pulling in a very harsh, gross way. It is pulling in a very sukshma, divine way because you have entered into divinity. Now you are in the frequency of divinity when you are in awareness. So something is not going to come very grossly. It can't enter your space very easily because you are in a little high frequency. So that thought will change its frequency and become very divine. And in a very divine way, it will say, this is so good, awareness is good. But the only thing is this all? There's still more. Catch what I'm saying if you can. Is this all? And then you look, yeah, this is right. Is this all? I said the catch is shifting into awareness is not a problem. Staying in awareness is the problem. Your practice is not about shifting into awareness. Anybody can shift into awareness, not a big problem. Within seconds to minute, anybody can just shift into. The problem is staying in awareness. How can you stay in awareness? That is where the catch this if you can. That is where the practice lies. Now, when you are in a state of awareness, a thought is trying to come to you. to catch your attention, you are in practicing state of awareness. If you are really practicing the state of awareness, you will continue to be here in awareness. You will see this thought coming to you. You will be aware of it, but you are not going to answer it. You're not going to respond to it. When you are aware of what's happening, that is called sakshi bhav, that is called drishta, that's sakshi, that is only becoming a witness to this. It knows that there is this feeling, but it does not respond, because it knows, the awareness knows that, the moment you respond, who is going to respond? This awareness cannot respond to you, because it cannot judge. To respond, you have to jump into the mind. So the thought comes to you, oh, is this it? Is this it? But what you do is continue in awareness. That small thin line is where the practice is. I'm revealing to you the most supreme secret of that awareness practice. It is not in the shifting into awareness. It is while you have shifted into awareness and something comes at that moment, how aware you are to see that this is a distractive thought coming up and I'm not going to respond. No response. You look at it just as a witness. So it might ask this question, that question, in whichever swarupa, you are simply not interested. You stay where you are. When you do that, you are expanding that state of awareness. And the same you that says, I have a 1 or 2 second glimpse, then it will become 10-second glimpse. Then it might become 20-second glimpse. Go on expanding that. Somewhere you might get caught up suddenly. But when you get caught up, and even if you come into your mind and start thinking, yeah, what is the use of all this? Even I'm thinking, suddenly you become aware, oh, I dropped down, shift into awareness again. That is what the practice is about. There with that habit, this thought coming, going again, it will get habituated ki ye to sunega nahi, chodo. It will not bother you. People used to bother me a lot. You have to do it this way. No, this is the way. This is the only way. There is nothing else. This aisa hi karna hai. And when I stopped giving attention to it and I began being myself, because trust was from my inner being. From my deep inner being, I was knowing what I am doing is truthfully right, from a deep, heightened state of awareness, not from the ego level. I continue to stay in that being yourself, being myself. Anything else did not matter to me. For a long time, there was pressurization in this way, that way. I say, change the swarup and come. Sometimes nice, sometimes hard, sometimes fierce, sometimes meek, sometimes begging. Mahishasura. All forms it will change. But Ma Durga, the awareness that I always say, light of awareness, consistent, ruthless, bold, courageous, no excuse. Whatever you say, no, not be spared. So when you are in that kind of state of consciousness, you don't heed to anything. You are just yourself, irrespective of what the systems around you talk, irrespective of what philosophies around you talk, irrespective of what the concepts and theories around you are. You don't conform with any damn of it. You are only simply being in the essence of that consciousness. Consciousness is all that matters. Consciousness is all that mattered to Uddhava when Krishna's consciousness. Nothing else mattered to him. Not the methods, not the talks, not the discourses of Krishna. He never attended any Bhagavad Gita class. He was beyond it. All that mattered in that state of awareness of Krishna, consciousness of Krishna. And that is why the freedom came to him. That is where the spiritual evolution came to him. That is what today's topic I'm saying. Being yourself will lead you to spiritual evolution and finally to freedom. It frees you from everything. If I'm sitting in my state of consciousness, being absorbed in my self consciousness, and not connecting with any concepts around me, any condition, any belief system, however powerful, however divine, however this, that, whatever explanation, nothing to do in my state of awareness. Shifted into pure awareness, and just then, all these things will start dying around you. Slowly, everything will drop away because it's not working. That's exactly what's happens in your state of awareness. When the mind will this way, nice, beautiful thought, simple thought, divine thought. Sometimes it will even say, "Oh, you're sitting in this, so now you are going to become a sadhu or sannyasi or something like that." The nice state. See, suddenly you will feel, oh my God, am I leaving my responsibility? Am I doing this? Come on. It mind has its own way to convince you. What I say, ruthless means stubborn. Stubborn is the word. Ziddi, jacki. And only a ziddi person can win this, I'm telling you. No compromise. You are for it, no compromise. See then what will happen. Nobody can bribe you into anything. It should come to that state of whatever it is. Cannot bribe. Lord Jesus was fasting for 40 days in the desert as a part of his practice. And on the end, the last day of his practice, 40th day, till then he had no problem. Chota mota obstacles. 40th day, somebody came to him. He was on the mountain. And he said, if you are the seeker, or if you are the son of God and all that, that you are feeling that you are, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Can you throw yourself out, up from this hill down and still save yourself? These are challenges now. And in Bible, it's shown as the Satan with the horns. So he's coming. It's known as the temptation of Jesus, the chapter. So he's testing Jesus in many ways. Can you do that and show? Can you do this and show? If you are this, can you do that? Jesus, in his awareness, not responding to anything there. Finally, then he changes his tunes and then he says, if you do this, can you see this whole city, this whole above this mount, from this mountain that you can see? This shall all be yours. I'll gift this to you. Completely, I'll give it to you. Everything is yours. Jesus never compromises there. He says, be gone, otherwise I'll throw you down from down. And he returns back to his practice. There at least Jesus said that. Here I'm mentioning not even that. If a thought comes or something is coming to distract you, don't even respond to it. See all that. See the Satan telling this and that, everything. But be there. No response, nothing. Because response means you are jumped into their platform, the mind platform, the ego. Who responds? The ego only responds. Then you get into that. So if you don't leave your awareness, it's a small catch. And all this I'm telling you is so big, but it happens all in seconds and microseconds. And this whole practice might be just 2 minute practice, what I'm telling you. In this 2 minute, all these things happen, what I just explained so vastly. In that 2 minutes. So the whole awareness is to be centered and be yourself. When you are being yourself, like the prostitute was, she was a prostitute, but wholly she believed, and that's what when the king said, "You're a saint," she was not identifying. She said, "No, I'm a prostitute," because she had no shame in that. There was nothing to this, because she did not take the prostitute word as something that is indecent or something. Whereas she had got her mukti because she was a prostitute. Through prostitution, she got her mukti because through that she made her sadhana. Imagine that. Her profession, she made a sadhana. What does this show? This story shows that to any extreme, if you have that mumukshatva, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you shall still be gifted with what you are seeking. 5 minutes to 12. So I just recollected the story when I saw this and I was coming back home. I said, okay, let's do a live. Then I thought it's 9 already. I said, no problem. 9:30, let's do it. It's a powerful message. So if you have anything to ask regarding today's session, you can ask quickly and we can wind up in another 5 minutes. Today's significance was very, very important. If you catch this will accelerate in a great way if you just become aware of these things. Thank you, Punamji. So these are some tattvas which are very deep, and I don't know how many of us are prepared to get into all this, because then if you sit thinking, that's my all the time this challenge, that if you sit thinking that people are not prepared for this, it doesn't matter who's prepared, not prepared. Whoever is prepared, it is for them. The quantity of people who's prepared to listen to these and extremes of life is very less. So I'm very happy to sit and share this with the few people who can completely understand what we are talking, because there it makes sense. And my desire and the way these truths I'm able to express is because there is a keenness for somebody to listen to that. Dumb people, I can do that. Most of the time I'm with dumb people. They will want to know everything else apart from these things. They will want to know which film did I watch yesterday. Because every single day I watch a film with my mom. Every single day. It's a Malayalam movie or a Tamil movie. 6 to 9, sure, 100%. That is the time for us. And I think I must have seen hundreds of movies. But I am in none of those, because though they don't fascinate me anyways. But it's a good time pass. You watch it. And I keep learning these things from the movies. So that's how I catch. So all that people can relate to it. What was that movie about? What was this? What was that? So people ask me, what was that movie that you saw yesterday? And what was the thing in that? Then I tell them little and forget about it. So I'm most of the time, what I'm saying, I means most of us are always with dumb people only. You can't help it. So probably that's why these platforms help. Because from the dumb world, there is some place where you can sit and be actually involved in practicality and reality of what we are seeking. Somewhere where there is some, it makes some sense. For me, this makes sense. Talking this, being this, reading this, living this completely. And living this means that is why this part of life also is becoming this, because this is part of my life. And I want to make my life more into these kind of activities than all the nonsense. The moment I step outside the awareness, I can't tell you the rush of the world that comes towards you. It's horrendous. Horrendous. I hardly go out, but if I go, and if I'm just sitting with my auto driver, he will begin first. And they all want to get involved in that. You can't help it. The moment you start traveling, I'm starting traveling. Alagi dunia. And all I'm looking at, or it gives a different scene. Where is this? Like, what is happening? All are lost in something. Hardly you will find anybody. Hardly. Then you go to spiritual places. And when I go to spiritual places, I don't meet anyone there also. I can't find anybody who's serious. Serious in the sense, who is more into this depth. Hardly I find, hardly even in spiritual places. So there is nothing to talk. So I prefer being alone there also. In the worldly world also, I prefer being alone. In the sacred places also, I prefer being alone. Because as I told you, vasanas are the same here or there. No big difference. There it's a little more dignified vasana. That's all. Same stuff, same story there also. There also, if people meet, nobody jumps into these kind of depths. Only one or two people, I think, if I meet somewhere very handful people can be so serious that they have nothing else in mind apart from this. And everybody will say, "Oh, where are you?" And like, for example, in Tirunelveli, "Oh, where are you? Morning. Oh, you are here. What are you going to do now? Oh, let's have breakfast there. Come. Then we'll go there. And did you go to that place? I'm planning to go there. How about going to the hill? And how from there, if you go to the temple, then we can have a lunch there." And seriously, the same pattern, I can see it anywhere. You go for a picnic, the same pattern. Shall we eat here? Shall we drink there? Shall we do this? What shall I wear? How do I look? So looks also matters there. How I present myself, because I want my presence to be felt there. There also. Because if I'm in simple clothes, then my presence. Somewhere I want to look different than others. There also that was nice there. Unawareness. So there also, when we bump into people, same talks, same stuff. Bahana utna hi, oh, we are here, let's have let's meet and let's talk about something. And sometimes I get fooled. I say, yeah, okay, fine, we'll meet. Come on. And then we have and fix up our table somewhere in Orosha or somewhere else. And we come, and the first thing, and the whole chapter begins like, I had this, and this problem happened, and that problem. No, I got stuck there. Then I went, and then my ex-girlfriend called me, and then I had a talk with her. These guys are very crazy. She doesn't leave me. She's still pestering me in this or that way. Then I said, I'll get into you and all that. And then I told, what if you have a boyfriend? Even I have a girlfriend now. You think you can live with her? I can live with me. Even I have taken a girlfriend here. I'm not anything. Now she has learned her lesson. Spirituality teaches so much. Hi, seriously? Can you see the vasanas? It's the same stuff. So hardly anybody can do it. Here, I think I am able to speak because it's a one-way communication. If we start conversing, I think I'll prefer again. I'm not telling seriously, but there can be chances. It will be some other talks. Previously, into shifting into awareness, I had all these problems for the first 1 year. I sit talking here something, and everybody is into something else. Somebody is talking about third eye, somebody is talking about chakras, somebody is talking about kundalini, somebody is talking about that and this, and the benefits and the experiences, and all those things. Somebody is in that boasting, I've been for 8 years, I've been doing this, I did that also, I included this also. Somebody's talking about clairvoyance and telepathy and all those things. I mean, a time comes when you have to transcend all these things. If you don't transcend these things, and if you think this is spirituality and you're going to be doing forever, you don't know the catches. Here in these, if you're listening carefully, you'll understand how sukshma each and every catches are. So it's upon us. Do you want to give that advantage of the mind to take over and anything to play with you in your life? Exactly what I'm saying here. Though you are in a state of awareness, thought comes and tries to trick you in some way, you don't respond. Exactly in the Jagrita Avastha. You are living in awareness, and when somebody comes, some talks some nonsense, you are silent. You're listening to it. Okay. Don't want to respond, because the moment you respond, you are jumping into that territory. And then when I do that, it offends people. And he said we'll meet and all that. Look at him, so egoistic, arrogance, eh, superiority. He doesn't want to talk. I mean, you talk with what we can relate. I will talk endlessly with you. But if you're all with the same bullshit things, which I have no interest in, what can I do? I don't want to even respond to it. I'll just be staring at it and say, okay, with a smile, okay, okay, okay. Finally, when you're tired, you leave. So then I thought, why better to avoid, better to have any kind of talks and all that. Be in your own world. So there also, when I go, I don't meet anyone. I'm not interested of meet. This is the first time we are having this satsang now. We are all together and split in two batches now, just 15 people. So there I'm hoping things will be all in alignment with what we are there for. Of course, the people who are there are very kind enough. All those people who are supporting this event, including the people, localites of Tirunamalai also, who want this event to happen. And they are doing the best. They said, no, we'll offer juice, we'll offer snacks, we'll offer lunch and breakfast. I had only told them lunch. I said, no, we'll do this and that. I said, it will distract too much of all this thing. I said, okay, take it. Whatever goes. Let us eat, drink also in awareness. What's there in that? No problem at all. So that's how these things are being arranged by them, and we are going by what they are doing. I don't know how many of you are there who are listening here to be in the events. I'll have one live session with all of you so that we just align ourselves uh, in proper alignment before we go there. And if you have any questions and all, we'll let it clear, because I don't think so I'll be talking on any other subject apart from this. So I would just prefer to be only in the sessions and doing this kind of activities. Rest, you have time. There are some times given, and there are some very good friends of mine who are there in this session. I'm very happy you guys are coming. So, and very, very honest and very sincere practitioners. And I love their company more. So I'm happy you are coming. So it will help you know, take the people to those places where I will tell you, so that you can go there, those places, and spend some good time. Because I want to avoid those places. I don't want to sit certain, because it will be different talks there. It will be maja maro type. I know how it happens. So I leave that up to you, because I don't want to spoil anybody's privacy there and everybody's enjoyment there and all that. Freak out, and it's a free kind of thing and all that. But I would always suggest be in awareness, whatever you do, how much you will do, because that is a very good chance that you get to stay in awareness there. And you can develop. I said that is a place that multiplies. So if you are on a certain tattva, it will just multiply. That effect, I am telling from my personal experience. I've told this before. I've had quantum leaps of consciousness in the past 1 year that I went, and mysterious changes, depth, things happen. So that is from where my conviction comes. That's a very powerful place if you can tap into. So all that I'm trying to provide is a platform where you can actually tap into if you are really wanting it. Because I want that, what I felt, everybody can have that. If I know something, and if I can help connect the dots somewhere, though I don't know how successful I'll be, but I'm just trying my best to connect those dots. All that I say is those who can actually are ready for it, or ready have that urge to do that, can get it very quickly. So that's how the whole purpose is about. And I think the first batch is all done, and the second batch also, there are some people who have not yet confirmed, but I think that also will get filled up in 2-3 days again. So I think the next retreat we will be somewhere in a month or 2 months, I don't know. We'll do that. So if you are interested, if you could not join in this batch for some reasons also, that's okay. We will keep you updated. Just keep yourself updated, signed up with those events. And if we have you updated already, then no problem. Whenever these events are coming, we'll keep updating. But April end, I think we will be April end or May first week, somewhere like that. I intend to be in Kanjangad also. So there are people who love to be in Kanjangad. It's a different crowd again, but the tattva is the same. Very deep, higher tattvas. That's Chidakasha Gita again, Bhagwan Nityananda. It's himself, God himself. So that's one another place which has benefited me a lot. Most I have visited there at least 30, 40 times all these times. But it has benefited me immense when I was just a beginner on this path and all that. So we visit there also a 3 day retreat again. There are many places, tattva, just being in that place, just being. All these places are even not do. We are not going to do anything there. Okay, I'm just making some opportunities to just shift into that space, and where you can actually just by shifting you'll feel that without having to do so much there. So we are not going to do some practices there. It is just alignment to that. So Kanjangad also, if you're interested, I don't know. It just came to my mind in the evening today while I was responding to something. It came to my mind and I had a smile on my face. Yeah, Kanjangad. And the trustees have already given their approval there. Last time when I was there, they invited me and they said we can make all the arrangements. So again, I won't be making it a public event. I don't want to. I will not be disclosing the dates also there outside. It will all be internally, only those who are seriously following this. So those who are seriously interested only. Chota crowd, okay, quality crowd. That's all that we want. So April end or May first week we'll do it there. Oh, there are messages I didn't see. So many of you. Yeah, Sanjay ji, thank you. Yeah, Anita ji, thank you. Poonam ji, more than 6 months I am listening to Kabir teachings and Sanjay Singh is saying this. Kabir teachings and all the songs which you sung, and finally I surprised that you also lead this into more practically into its significance and shifting into absolutely. These people are very straight people. If you don't want to beat around the bush and spend too much of time doing this and that and getting into this and too many philosophies, if you directly want to go, these are some people straight to the point. Nisardat Maharaj, straight to the point. Ramana Maharshi, straight to the point. Kabir Das, straight to the point. And without wasting time, they will help you just shift into that awareness and shift into that reality and even have direct experiences of that. But for that, tayari honi chahiye. We should be ready to that extent to jump. And tayari tab aati hai when all the conditioning goes. All this conditioning that keep us glued into ऐसे वैसे philosophies and all that concepts and all that. जब वो जाएगा बड़ी आसानी से आप शिफ्ट कर सकते हो. Very true, Sanjay ji. It's happening naturally to me, and now I can understand what is this and why. Thanks to you, yeah, and awareness. Yes, I am sure all these experiences are happening to so many of you, because without that you will not be consistent. Your consistency means this is not a blind belief. Something is happening to you and those changes are coming to you. That's why you are moving on. And that is what I believe in. You should always have an experiential wisdom of what you learn. Then only that is working. Otherwise, it's just blind faith. 15th March, yeah, Chidakash Gita, tentatively 15th March. Because now I'm going to be there in 2 3 days in Mumbai for almost a week and come back, and then 12th we have a full day event here online. Those who are interested can sign up for the 12th one also. It's a full day event where we are learning this completely. So that and Tirunamalai is completely different, because Tirunamalai is completely extreme. Here we are just 12th March, we will be just talking the basics and moving into those 4 zones, from the gross to subtle to deeper awareness to the soul level, all those things, explanation and some realizations of all that with some experiences and all that. So that's how the people who have never understood what is shifting into awareness, or it's good for them also. From you'll have the whole thing covered step by step. There we are not going to deal with it. Tiruvannamalai, we are not going to deal with these basics. It's straight to the higher tattvas and straight to the deeper tattvas. So all that we are is simply in that state of awareness, simply learning to live in awareness in that space. So that my idea is, if you are completely able to 3 days live in that space of awareness, you should be able to carry that state of living in awareness and go back to where you are and continue living that. I know it will not sustain for long, but you can pull it for a long time. And the moment you feel it's still going out something, you can come back to that place. Because now, when you know that tattva, you can come back anytime and be again in that mode for 2 3 days and then go back. It starts expanding. That state of living in awareness keeps on expanding. That's how I did it. I found it very beneficial. So I can just suggest. Looking forward to Kanjangad to you. Surely. Saying all this, wetting my eyes with bliss. What did I say, Punam? Reshma Zagade. Thank you, thank you. Reshma Zagade. We met in Rishi Gurukulam? Kanjangad Tiruvannamalai. Yeah, it's a wonderful. Actually, it's Uttar Dakshin jaisa hai wo, because Tiruvannamalai is on one end and okay, Tamil Nadu end, and that is in Kerala another end. It is like this seashore to this seashore. If India is like this, south, Tiruvannamalai is here, Kanjangad is here. The two extremes. It's an overnight journey actually, and there is no direct trains also. Last time you must have seen that Jinka Chika bus I came through on that night and all that. It's all that tedious journey. So we cannot actually club these two places also. They are two different places and two different tattvas also. The experiences here are something different, and when you go to Kanjangad, it's completely different. Kanjangad is silence. Here, Tiruvannamalai can distract you. Ramana Maharishi place can give you silence, but still it's noisy. There's something or the other. Kanjangad is complete silence, completely silence. Just nature and greenery and those caves and that tattva, that Jagrat tattva, the Papanashini Ganga there in Guruvan, and Swamiji Vidyanand staying there, and the Mahima and the beauty of that place and the power. That's a spot of Guru Mandala. It's supposed to be a different dimension altogether from there. The reason why Bhagwan Nityananda went to Guruvan also. So all those tattvas are completely different. That experience is something different. But again, it's about the consciousness. Yeah, yeah, surely we'll go. So let some gap be there, because there are two near, all these retreats are again and again little near. And I don't want to get lost in these doing retreats and getting too much involved. That is why I said this time, I told even Ashok Bhai, no, no, let's not go for the crowd. Let's not, because I am sure if you would have opened it, it would have just gone filling up. And then it will become the same thing which I don't want it to become. So I said, okay, we'll just make slowly. Jaya Kumar, Bhaiya, after registration and payment, is it possible to get a recording of the live webinar of 12th August? No, I wouldn't suggest. I don't want to give those recordings and all those things. Jayaji, if you have already registered and if you are not able to make it also, no problem. You can attend some other time, because these things will be there continuously for some time for new people. Some reason you are not able to, just write to me. Okay, you are saying it's your night time. Okay, then I understand. I'm very sorry. I had got this response from many of the people from the other side. We will do one thing, Jay Kumarji. We will make another one session once I come back from Tiruvannamalai. Just after a week or something, I'll put something for this time also. So maybe probably in late night this time or something. I'll just take your feedbacks, and for the people of that world, that side of the world, we can do it. I understand your problem. So don't go for recordings. They're not going to help anyways, because it's a live interaction. It's better to interact and there and do it. We'll do that. We'll surely do that. One session that way. थैंक यू कन्नू भाई फॉर बीइंग योर प्रेजेंस. कन्नू भाई का प्रेजेंस भी इतना अच्छा लगता है कि वी आर हियर ऑल टुगेदर. दीज आर सम बीइंग्स, उनको सोचने के बाद भी अनाथ खुल जाता है. दैट शोज दे हैव रीच्ड दैट काइंड ऑफ लेवल्स ऑफ अवेयरनेस आल्सो, बिकॉज ऐसे ही नहीं होता. व्हेन यू थिंक ऑफ समवन यू फील happy and all, it's good, but probably we don't know our own progress or evolution, whatever we call it. But that's okay, because not knowing also is good. It keeps us grounded. Anyways, it's going to be late now, too late. So we'll catch up some other time. I don't know if I'll do any lives now in these 2 days, because I got to move now towards Maharashtra. So I think after coming from there only is possible. Yes, they have this Zoom on 8th, I think. Somebody is interested, you can just join. There's no payment for these. Okay, in Mumbai, anybody is around Mumbai, you're most welcome to come. One is in Ghatkopar. Our dear Rajesh bhai is arranging that in Ghatkopar on 5th, and from there our dear Miraji is arranging in Breach Candy, Warden Road, and the next day. But again, I think it's just a 2 hour satsang or something, and whatever they are doing, whatever they want to do, that's fine. So we'll go according to that. Then 7th, I think one day is holiday there. There's a gap, and 8th there will be a Zoom session. That 8th, if anybody wants to join, you can join. I still have no idea of what exactly they want. I'll be just communicating with them last moment, whatever they want, we will deliver. So all these are just free events, just kept on donation basis. If you want, you can donate. If you don't want, it's okay. And yes, some people in for the Tiruvannamalai trip also, I felt that you have some issues with your finance or something with the way you are asking questions. So I am telling you openly, if you have anything like that, please write. If you have any financial issues, or if you're not able to afford it, or little you can afford or something, write, please write, because this is not for money making anyway. We do need money for arranging things and keep things going. That's also needed, but that's not the essence. So we can, because we sometimes have donors who give more also, so we can do some adjustments in that. So please let me know for any of these retreats also, if they are, you feel it is overpriced for you. It's not. I've tried to keep it very much nominal as much as possible, so it's very balanced. But still, if you feel something like that, we can definitely look into that. So that should not stop anybody from learning what you wish to learn. I'll send Zoom link to you tomorrow. Yeah, please, Priti, because I don't know. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea in these three places also what we are going to actually do. It will depend on the crowd consciousness. So whoever is we'll come to know within few minutes only. We'll come to know what has to be delivered there, and that will happen there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I think you are responding to Anita ji. Okay, okay. Yeah, there is a link that will come for Zoom, but it will all be sent internally only. No public, nowhere on the public platforms. I'm going to put these links. Only those who are regular here, who are registered, who have signed up for that, will receive these links on WhatsApp and all that. So if you are interested in these kind of events, you have to sign up for that. shiftingintoawareness.com/events. shiftingintoawareness.com/events. There's a small form that's asks you for that. That thing will come to me, I'll add you up in that, and then you'll start getting the updates. And there also, I'm not adding everyone, because I know there's a reason why I'm making this forms and all that. Because I'm looking very carefully at who those people are. I don't want any planted people here, anybody with any wrong intention here. I double cross that. That is why sometimes for some people I'm even asking their PAN card or address proof, so that the identity of that person is sure what we are looking into. All for a reason. Again, I don't want to pollute this environment in any way. Yes, and I'll let you know about the Kashmir thing. He's going to talk to me, I think, after the Tiruvannamalai event. That's too far. Again, if it is possible, this event also, 2 3 people I refused. I refused in the side. I said, better you don't come. They're coming from too far. I said, don't come from there to Tiruvannamalai until you feel Tiruvannamalai is that calling is there. You come. If it is for a retreat, we are going to have it some other time that side also towards the north. There are even invites from Himachal Pradesh. There are invites from near to Delhi, that side. So all those areas will get covered there, and Himachal also will get covered there, and Kashmir side that side, and there is, yes, one going to be in Goa also uh, very soon. I don't know which date, but somewhere in April, May only that also is going to be. That's not a very big event. It's a 1 day event. So people from there, all new guys again, very curious guys and all that. One or two friends are there who are practicing this awareness, and they have many friends who are very new and new to spirituality and all that. So we said, okay, we'll do that also. So with, I think with lots of divine love. I think why? Really with lots of divine love and light. I think it's late, I was trying to say. Meet you some other time. Stay blessed. Maybe all evolve. Maybe all be free. Gurudev Sharanam, Guru Mandal Sharanam. Avdut Chintan Shri Gurudev. See you soon. Take care. Bye.